So Bitcoin will be $70,000 by the start of next week. No, it's not. It's not. Definitely not. Please do not get overexcited about the market. Yes, it's green. Yay. But we're in an absolute monster bear market. And I want to explain a few things before you get yourself in a muddle. Right. Bear market trend. Not looking great. BTC. Not looking great anyways. But let's look at the total market cap just as an example, right? So, in today's video, it is market sentiment. I'm going to explain why it's pretty dangerous today to start looking at going long. We have been pushing up quite significantly. This is a 2-day time frame. We've had a lot of green candles. It's great to be making money. You buy levels of support. Don't be aping into resistance, for God's sake. Now, we've already went up 80 billion in the market, essentially, right? The total market. Quite a lot of money gone back in. Little bit of a Santa rally, but delayed. Obviously, Santa's got lost. However, that being said, it's risky. It's risky, boys and girls, because these levels here, this level here is probably quite a chunky bit of resistance that you want to keep an eye on. And for me, it doesn't really fill me with much hopium that we're going to kind of, well, let's be honest here. Why would you want to buy that? Yeah, probably don't. So that being said, it's an interesting market. So in today's video, I'm going to try and curb your expectations to try and hopefully make you not FOMO. You should have bought at the end of December. Simple as that. Not today. And yes, I know people in the comments will be like, oh, but Captain Hindsight. Well, obviously, if you believe in the market, if you believe in crypto, if you believe that everything's going to go hunky-dory, buying here is great. But what if it goes lower first and you've bought resistance? You have bought a bear market relief peak and you may be in this drawdown for another year. You're going to look like a dick. So just bear that in mind. So in terms of the non-financial advice, little bit of advice there to try and tell you not to do something silly. If you're going to do something silly, do it in silence, right? Just go with it. But don't be telling people to buy. Don't be telling people to do this, because realistically, right, when you look at that, it doesn't look like the greatest place at the moment in the short term to just go, you know what, I'm going to plonk orders in, because you are literally guessing. Realistically, we're in a downtrend, and this is the whole point. We're in an ugly downtrend, and all these relief rallies do capture people out. They get people going long. They get people going short. It's pretty ugly. But hey ho, we move on. Anyways, other things to talk about, right? So when we look at the market, we've got a lot of things to consider this week. I know. So Jerome Powell is talking today. So by the time this video's come out, it's probably already reacted. US CPI. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be live on Thursday for a public reaction, which will be great fun. They're usually pretty fun to do anyways, to be fair. But I have just done a 30-minute video, technical analysis for my Patreon, covering a load of altcoins in terms of what I think could be happening. And I think it's going to be interesting. I do think we're going to push a bit higher, but I do think there's going to be a correction. But when we look at the overall picture, right, this was essentially, the previous push. This was when FTX started to unravel, when BitBoy became that little... No, let's not go with that one. You get the picture, right? This is where it all unraveled. We have not retraced that amount of market cap on a lot of assets, right? When we look at the likes of BTC, right, we have not really moved much yet, right? There's, I think we could go and retest 19k, but I do think it's going to happen first with a pullback. I think we are going to push back from these little green levels, and then we're going to go and try and retest these levels. So don't just expect it to be nice, rosy, and obvious that it's just going to carry on going, because it's probably not. And we need to look at that. For the first time in a very, very long time, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles on the 2-day time frame. Try and find another one, maybe here, and that was October. So getting into kind of silly territory, really. Now, another thing to look at as well, we've got a lot of hidden bearish divergences all across the RSI. That could be fun too. So that is a continuation of the downside, essentially hidden bear, where momentum will kill us and you'll probably get squashed. So we have to be very careful. We need to remember the facts here. We are still in a bear market. The sentiment isn't great. The volume is still relatively low. The interest is low. The interest of FUD is high. It's not looking great. Every time we have a bit of green candles, what happens? An article comes out about CZ or something, Binance is insolvent, there's a problem with Binance, there's this, all kinds of shit comes out. It's like, oh, for God's sake, just let us have a bit of green day. But this is coming from a real good incentive from me. I want you to be on the right side of the market, and in my opinion, I don't think we're currently on the right side of the market. Now, when we look at, obviously, look, Zilliqa, random example, it looks great, boom, but it's because I've dropped so much. The green candles look amazing, but when we look at the total dominance of the USD pairs, right, the white line is currently the overall metric. It's still 14%. This has to keep going lower. This has to trend lower for you to be like, right, let's get into crypto properly. Let's get some nice orders in. You should always be buying the support levels anyways, but to go, oh, let's make some momentum trades to use in a long position, it's probably unlikely at the moment we're going to get that. We've not had a full confirmation. Even on the daily time frame, we're finally about to cross over. But the reality is we could hit this level here and just go, yeah, boom, back up again. We've got to be very, very careful. A lot of things are at historic resistance levels for a period of like a year or two. It's not looking great. So yeah, we're all the way back at where we were. It kind of sucks. But at the same time though, you've just got to look at the obvious. This is a key level, massive. It needs to break above this level. It needs to carry on going, but it's just looking a bit flat. Ethereum is another example. Look at it. It is pretty flat. It's just the shit coins that are pushing, all the altcoins, like the random degen, the AI narrative that's catching people out. Even the likes of Solana bouncing like an absolute mushroom. Like, look at it. Boom. This is a 126% move because it's dropped so much. The reality is, when you zoom out, it's not really tickled much. It's at a real historic level where it's just flipped resistance into support, potentially. But look at these. Look at how far the RSI is versus the structure. This is already an RSI hidden bearish divergence already. So yeah, market sentiment, I think we're going to pull back. I do think after the pullback, if the CPI news is good, we may well push a little bit higher, which may well create more hopium and more FOMO. But when you zoom out on these time frames, boys and girls, we're lower highs all the way. And until that breaks, my sentiment won't change. I will go long in the short period. I will go short in the longer period because that's kind of the entire market spectrum, right? However, the psychology is telling me, and when I was talking about this like a year ago, as I was getting death threats because I was taking profits, good times, people are getting excited, and usually when people get excited, that's when the rug tends to happen. So yeah. Anyways, if you enjoy, leave a like, please, and subscribe. I will be live on Thursday. There will be a video tomorrow too, a psychological video, an educational one. I've got a bit of an idea that I want to kind of run past you. There will be also a Learning Crypto podcast, so check out the link below. There's a Learning Crypto podcast. Recording that tonight. It'll be out tomorrow at some point. Enjoy.